What's up, sports fans? It's your man D back. Speak Your Mind Sports Talk. All right, guys. Y'all know what time it is. Speak Your Mind Sports Talk live daily in the building. So today, guys, I want to talk about Bob Arum just came out with an article. Chin Smoke came out and gave up a list of Terence Crawford's next opponents. Now, his next opponents in case the Pacquiao fight doesn't happen, right? So as usual, let me put the link in the chat in case whoever wants to come up and join today's discussion. Put the link in the chat, as y'all know, or on the panel as usual. Chin Smoke first in the building. Appreciate you, Chin Smoke. See my man Raider, you checking in early today? Ready to get that spot on the panel before it get filled up, Raider. What's up with your Raider? All right, let me see. All right, boom. There you go. All right, link in the chat. Raider up from LA in the building. My man Boxing Monster in the building. What's good, Boxing Monster? The Texans up in the building. What's good with you, fam? So Bob Arum came out today and he gave a list of Terence Crawford's next opponents. Now, I've been saying something about Terence Crawford. The time comes when we got to stop giving him a pass, you know, with this guy don't want to fight me, that guy don't want to fight me. Bob Arum has to make something happen. Now, the list that they put out, or the list that Bob Arum put out, I'm good with it. I'm good with just about every name on the list. And this is in case the Pacquiao fight doesn't happen. Now, of course, I don't think anybody has any argument with the Pacquiao fight at all. Sweet Science Sports and McDojos, what's up with you, fam? I don't think there's any argument about that. But Bob gave up some names just in case this fight doesn't go through, and we're going to talk about those. Also, the Pacquiao fight. What we're going to talk about today is the level of competition that each guy may offer, and also what that fight would mean for Terence Crawford. You know, because people want to see him fight a higher level guy to establish himself at 147. So we're going to talk about all of these guys that Bob Arum put on the potential if the Pacquiao fight doesn't happen. I don't think there's any complaints with the Pacquiao fight. The only thing people could say is that Pacquiao's older, but so what? He's a champion. He just took out Keith Thurman. He's an all-time great, and until he gets older in that ring, we can't use that excuse. And that would be a great win for Crawford. Of course, we'll talk about the Pacquiao versus Crawford fight. But the other guys that Bob Arum has listed, Charles D in the building. What's good with you, Charles D? Appreciate you coming through. Queen Lisa Bales in the building. How you doing, sis? So, Keith Thurman, Shawn Porter, Dennis Ugas, and was Keith Thurman, Shawn Porter, Dennis Ugas, and Kell Brook. Those are the people on the list that Bob Arum gave. Now, I'm pretty comfortable with every name on that list. The least on that list to me would be between Kell Brook and Keith Thurman. Which one of those guys are more finished? I would say probably Keith. I'm sorry. Probably Kell Brook. I think that Keith Thurman probably has a little more to give than Kell Brook, but I would definitely have those two guys at the bottom of the list of the alternates in case the Pacquiao fight doesn't go through. So, again, we're talking Crawford's best opponent to this point at 147. I'll take your pick. I would say between Caviar Laskas and Caviar Laskas, Benavidez. I would say between Caviar Laskas and Benavidez at 147 is his best opponent. I can't give it to Amir Glass Chen Khan. And in my opinion, Jeff Horn can't box. He's not a good boxer at all. But he's strong. You know, he has a tough chin, and I think that he's more durable than Keith Thurman. I mean, they're really not really any impressive opponents at this point for Terence Crawford at 147, and that's just the facts. Champ Ross in the building. Hey, Champ, when you putting the next list up, man? Because I didn't do so well this week. I ain't even gonna lie, bro. I didn't do much study on these fights or anything, bro, and it showed. Which, you know, I didn't do horrible, but I didn't do real well. But I need to do some film on this next list because I can't be slipping like that. So, but yeah, let me know when you gonna put up that next list, champ. Fight starts tomorrow. The list is already up. Ah, shit. Well, I'm gonna have to cut out stuff early. I gotta do some film. Smoke, get this smoke in the building. What's good with you? Get this smoke. List is up. All right. Yeah.
What's up, man?
Busy. I see. What you say, Smoke?
Yeah, how's that? Is that better?
Yeah. You clear.
Cool. But yeah, good. Everything's lovely on my end. How about you? Thanks for asking.
Oh, I'm great. Monster said no film study, DJ. Yo, bro, I ain't gonna lie. If I don't put in film, I'm not gonna do good that week. So I'll tell you right now, I gotta look at the fights. That's just it. I can't go off the top of my head and say, oh, I remember him fighting, and some people go with that. Not me. I gotta look at the fights. And if I don't look at the fights, it's gonna happen just like it happened this past week, which I didn't do horrible, but I didn't get top 5, which that's where I'm used to being. So see, Monster, I'm not like you. I can't settle for, 7th place or 8th place or 15th or some silly shit. Like, it's got to be top 5 or nothing for D Jeff. So since I won in the top 5 this week, that shows. But as far as going down low and all of that, I don't do that kind of stuff, Monster. Yeah, it starts on Tuesday now. So every time it starts on Tuesday. All right, well, damn, I just got to do some film work tonight. Careful, D, don't want to get me. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I want you getting in. Come on, get in. Everybody, Jay Cooley, you get in too. Everybody, come see Champ Ross, Fantasy Boxing Prediction League. Smoke in it, Charles D in it, Lisa Bell's in it. Y'all come have some fun. You know what I mean? That's what's up. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to put the link back in the chat real quick in case we need, 4 on the panel, guys. Got smoking now. We're going to jump off, get this stuff cranked off. All right, so first fight out the gate is one that everyone we're already expecting. And today's discussion is basically, Bob Aaron put this list up. JD Boxing in the building. What's good with you, Jackal? So Bob put this list up of potential fighters if the Pacquiao fight shouldn't go through, which means priority, I guess, is which should be is the Pacquiao fight. Now, as I said in the beginning, here's my idea on the Pacquiao fight with Terence Crawford. Black and Brown Boxing in the building. What's up with you? This fight.
What's up, fellas?
What's up, dog? This fight here, yes, Bud gets credit. Yes, it's a valid opponent, the most valid opponent he has. I have no negatives about this fight with Manny Pacquiao. Again, we can say that Manny Pacquiao is getting old, but he just beat Keith Thurman, which was a champion, and he's a champion, so this is a valid win. Manny Pacquiao is an all-time great, big name to have on your record. But do I expect Manny Pacquiao to go in there and win against Crawford? No. Some people actually do. I've actually seen some people pick at Manny Pacquiao to win. I don't think Manny Pacquiao wins this fight. But at the same time, when we look at the validity, of this fight for Crawford at 147, I think that he gets credit. He gets all the credit in the world for the fight, for the unification, for everything. Black and Brown Boxing. What's good with you? What you think about? Did you read the description, Black and Brown?
Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, you said I think it's the next opponent for Terence Crawford.
Right. Well, so what Bob Arum came out, he came out and said if the Pacquiao fight should fall through and they shouldn't happen, then he gave a list of the potential next opponents. So we're gonna go down the list of all of those guys. But we just starting off with Pacquiao. And if this is a valid win, I give all credit to Crawford for this win. Like, I have no complaints about this fight. I think it's a good test, a good win. Valid at 147. What's your ideas on Pacquiao Crawford and who you think will win?
Oh, I think it's a great name for his resume. He gets the unification. It's a name that he needs. He needs more names on his resume, and to get Pacquiao's name, that'd be great. I think names like Shawn Porter and names like Ugas, those will be good names. But Pacquiao, now that'd be a great name.
Huge.
And you get the unification, so
right, which gives him leverage in that Spence negotiation, but also makes that fight more of a possibility for us because, like I talked about on the last live Friday, we were kind of talking about situation concerning this, but it kind of forces that fight to happen because Spence has nowhere else to go. Whoever the winner is of that fight, if those two guys fight, those were the two priority fights for him, for Crawford and Pacquiao. So if they fight each other and eliminate that, Spence has nowhere else to go but to the winner. So
yeah, and it just adds to Crawford's legacy as well because he's already undisputed at 140, unified at 147. It just adds to his legacy. So, and like you just said, it'll open a lot more doors. Even if it doesn't open the door for the Spence fight, it'll open doors for other things for him. So I think it's a great win, a great fight.
Right. It increases his pay-per-view draw status too because he's not a draw. So he goes in there and he beats Pacquiao and he gets that card. At least, he can become a draw. So it helps him out in a lot of ways. Get this smoke. What you think about it, bro? Pacquiao Crawford, valid win, what it means for him?
It's a valid win, definitely a valid win, and it's a culmination of years of marination. I've been waiting for this fight for a long time, and yeah, I think maybe Terence Crawford might be on the bubble of the Hall of Fame, maybe, and this would definitely, I think, go a long way to his bid to getting in. Yeah, it increases the value. It definitely increases his marketability. This should be his most successful pay-per-view to date, and increase the fight. Like, should he win, increase his negotiating power for the undisputed fight, and even in between that, increases negotiating power. Like, all those guys are saying they're having such a great time at the PBC. If there's two belts over there, then it might say the money goes over there too. Maybe they'll gravitate there even before the undisputed fight happens or instead of the undisputed, whatever. However it goes, his marketability goes up after the Pacquiao fight should he win.
Yeah,
we still have to see how he wins, but yeah, either way, if he gets the result, it goes up.
Totally agree. I totally agree. Charles D in the building. What's good with you, Charles D?
Ain't shit. What's going on, man? Chilling.
Same old, same old. Real quick, Dr. Mario, what's up with you? Appreciate you coming through, man. Growing. What's good, my friend Ralph Unreal in the building? What's good with you, Ralph? Samuel Wild Shaw up in the house. What's up, Samuel Wild? Appreciate y'all coming through. Sporting Advantage. What's up with you, my man? Appreciate you stepping in. And my man Craig Smith in the building. What's up, Craig? So Charles D, Manny Pacquiao, Terence Crawford, validation. What it means for him. What you think, bro?
One step closer to unification if we could get it, if undisputed. He says that's his first fight. That's what he's gunning for. He's been trying to get it since they was both on top rank. And like Smoke said, and just like Bracken Brown said, bargaining chips. That shit makes it a lot. Two titles apiece on the table, 50-50 for all the marbles.
Yeah, I don't think it should be any argument or any, about 50-50 at that point. Like, You guys just go in there 50-50. It shouldn't be no split. Nobody's the A side, nobody's the B side. Both of them will have 2 belts. Bud beat Manny Pacquiao, so we can't start talking about, well, who has he beat? No, it's a 50-50 fight at that point. Spence may be the bigger draw, but then that may be questionable because Bud just went in there with Manny Pacquiao. So I don't think it's like, I think it's just pretty much everybody could agree on this. The fight is valid for Bud Crawford. This is the fight that we want to see him in, not the Kavialaskis and the Amir Khans, but you know, fight is valid. He gets full credit. He gets a good name under his resume. So we can move on to the other guys comfortably because that's really the meat and
That's
potatoes.
not just a good name. That's a legend.
Yeah, he's a legend. So the thing is the other guys. That's what the really, you know, the big point of this topic is, because Bob has put out this list of guys. So I'm gonna start, guys, from what I feel basically is the lower guy to maybe, you know, the better competition. And that's why we're having this discussion. So if you guys feel differently, you know, we could talk about that. But my ideas is, you know, either one of these 2 guys could be the lowest. I'm just going to start with Kell Brook. Okay, so Kell Brook was on that list of potential opponents for Bud Crawford. I don't know who just fell off. Okay, I'll put the link back in the chat. But Charles D, I'm gonna let you start off. Kell Brook, Luis Puente in the building. What's good? Aobs in the building. What's good with you? Validation, what it means for him, same thing. We're gonna go through the same thing, have the same talk with every guy. What do you think, Kell Brook, Terence Crawford?
Well, Bud just had an interview. I don't know if you caught that interview with Brian Custer. He addressed every goddamn thing. But like he said, if Kell Brook feels that he can make it at 47 to fight, he said he's willing to fight Brook. Because he said Brook is arguably undefeated. Well, technically he's got 1 loss. Because you figure, he said when he went up to fight Golovkin, he shouldn't have took that fight. He fucked his eye up. And then he came back down to fight Spence, fucked his other eye up. But he was like, you know, that's a good name to have under his belt. Would I watch it? Yeah, but I don't know, man. Brook got to make 47 first, man. Last time he fought at 47, he didn't look right.
Yeah, and we got to remember too that he just came from 54 fighting Zarafa. Wasn't that his last fight? I think Zarafa at 54 was his last fight, which he won the fight, but you're talking about him cutting weight and coming back down. And he's older and he's beat up. So I'm not sure. He's always been a pretty big 147 pounder anyway when he was fighting. So I'm not sure. Smoke, what do you think? Brook, Terence Crawford, Fireman in the building. What's good? Think Cap in the building. What's up, fellas? What do you think, Smoke?
You know, right off the bat, that's a terrible follow-up to Manny Pacquiao. Like, we were talking about all this, you know, what it does for him and marketability and all that. Brook does none of Brook doesn't check any of those boxes that we were talking about with Manny Pacquiao. I'm with Charles D. That's 2 for I need to see Brook at 147 first. Maybe it would have been better.
Your mic going low, Smoke.
Okay. Hold on.
There it is. You're back.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool.
Oh, I thought it was me. I was like, what the fuck?
It would have been better if he had done Brook instead of Khan, I think. But now that he's done Khan, I need to see something else out of Brook. You know, it's a better name than Green Machine, but my guy is probably worse. Like, I'd have to see Kell Brook fight Mean Machine first, something like that.
Right. Battle Rifle in the building. Battle Rifle, did you get a chance to read the description, fam?
Nah, I could do that right now, though.
No. I'll just run it through right quick because Charles D and Smoke already know. So basically what we're talking about is this, and we've already talked about Manny Pacquiao, so I'll just let you know that. But Bob Arum just put a list up of Bud Crawford's potential opponents if the Pacquiao fight should not happen. So that's what the discussion is today. But what we're doing is we're going through each and every guy, and we're determining the level of competition for Bud, what it would mean as far as validity for him at 147, and what it does for his career. And we're going to talk about this for each guy. We've already gone through Pacquiao, and everybody pretty much agrees it's great for the Pacquiao fight. But now we've moved on to the guys that are potential if he doesn't get this Pacquiao fight. And the first guy we're talking about is Kell Brook. So what do you think, Bud Crawford, validation at 147, what it means for his career and so forth, what I just went through? What you think?
Well, if he wins, it could, hopefully bring back some, I guess, validity. I mean, a lot of people, if I'm being completely honest, if you were to beat Crawford and retire, it would be a good look on his resume, but nobody would really be, all over Brook except for, I think, the people who legitimately loved Brook beforehand. So honestly, if he were to take this fight, it would be good for him in a sense that he's taking on the best guy. When people thought he was done, he's trying again, even though he's, he lost 2 fights. He'd be prepared to come back and fight a guy like Crawford. So it would be good to see him fight him. Honestly, I don't think he would win, but it would probably be a good show for the British audience to get. I'm not sure as far as how he would do financially. How to do financially, it's up to interpretation. But if anything, I doubt there's a lot of guys that he's willing to fight at 154 to get him the big payday. The biggest guy you can fight at 154 to get the biggest payday is Jamel, and I haven't seen him call out him at all.
Yeah, and I ain't too sure. Like, I'm still not convinced on the whole 154 thing. I hear people talking about that, but and then they talk about Jamel Charlo at 154. That's probably not the safest route to go at 154, because I think Jamel Charlo might be one of the stronger fighters at 154. So whatever. But my ideas on this Brook fight, guys, is that now I'm not really like I put this at the bottom for a reason. It gives him some validation. It is his best opponent. I would put him above Jeff Horn or Kavya Velasquez. I would put Brook above them as far as validation. But to be perfectly honest, I would still be on the level of I still have to see him do more. And I know people wouldn't like that, but Brook is not the answer for me, especially when you got the other guys that we're getting ready to talk about. I put all of them over Brook and give him more validation than a Kell Brook. So as far as validation is, you know what I mean? As far as draw and money, it's not going to do much for him there. So Brook, I think that, in my opinion, that should be the last fight that they look for as a replacement. That's just how I see it. Not really too interested. I agree with Smoke. It should have been Brook first and then Khan, not the opposite. You know what I mean? So the next guy that I have on the list is Keith, Once Upon a Time Thurman, Terence Crawford, Battle Rifles. You start this one off. What do you think? Validation, same thing. Keith Thurman.
He would kind of get the validation that he's still in the fight if he takes his fight. I don't believe a lot of people would have a lot of faith in him based off him, being injured a lot and coming back from the Pacquiao loss. But, if he wins this fight, that would be great for Keith Thurman. That would make him one of the best welterweights in recent years. We already know Mayweather was at the tippity top before everything, but, it was hard for people to even measure up to the levels of a Mayweather except for Manny Pacquiao. So I think he would definitely be one of the greatest welterweights if he would have won that fight. But also, it would kind of be if Keith Thurman wins that fight, people it would kind of be like, where would he rank himself now that he beat Terence Crawford, he is probably considered the second best in the division right now. So would he go on the same level with Errol Spence, or would he just be still number 2 behind Errol Spence?
but I think still people will still put him number 2, even though he beat Keith Thurman.
Yeah, maybe. Smoke, what you think?
If Terence Crawford were to beat Keith Thurman, that would definitely be the best win, former unified champ at 147. That would definitely mean for me that he's a legitimate, welterweight champion. It would definitely legitimize him. I think he would probably still not be he's still not going to get A-side status. But he does, he does solidify his position as at least more, a better win than either Porter or Danny Garcia have.
Yeah, facts. I don't think either that, it bumps him to any kind of, gives him any kind of leverage and the Spence negotiations. No, I agree with you there. John Daly in the building. What's good with you, John Daly? Thurman gets very fat between fights. Well, let me say this, John, about that. Thurman, now let's be honest, because I don't like to bash guys for no reason. Whether he is injury prone or not, the fact is he's had injuries, okay? And you really can't, when you're dealing with injuries in between fights, it just prevents you from doing a lot. I don't think Thurman's deal was like Broner's or Tank Davis or Errol Spence, where it was just a lack of dedication and responsibility. I think it had to do, like, a lot of times with him being injured in between fights. Thurman, we ain't never really seen him having problems gassing out or any of that kind of stuff unless he was coming off of an injury. So I don't really want to throw shots at him for being like fat in between fights. I think he's going to do pretty well with that. Just him going up against Crawford, though, I agree with what Battle was. I mean, who was that? Smoke was just saying that, it validates him, but it don't give him A-side. Don't give him A-side. It doesn't give him too much leverage in that negotiation. I mean, this is a Thurman who just took beating, not really a beating, but just had a rough fight with Josecito Lopez and then lose to Manny Pacquiao. So not something that you're gonna, go crazy over. Unbiased or biased boxing talk in the building. What's good with you? Steven Schneider in the building. What's up with you, fam? Charles D, you didn't speak on Thurman versus Pacquiao, did you?
Thurman versus Pacquiao, he beat it. He lost.
Yeah, Charles, it's the same, man. I know you're not smoking. It's the same thing for every guy, dog. I want to get your thoughts.
No, I am smoking, but I thought you was talking about. I thought you was talking about Crawford. I thought you was talking about Bud and Thurman.
Yeah, that's what he meant to say.
No, but yeah, I'm talking about Bud
okay.
now. But we just going down the list of like every guy. But we answering basically. Right. It's the same discussion about every guy, and then we'll,
Yeah, well, I'd be petty with Thurman. I wouldn't even entertain the shit because you see how Thurman's acting right now. Thurman's acting like he still got a title.
Right.
Like if he sent me a contract, I'll entertain it. Like, nigga, you're beltless. Fuck you mean you'll entertain it? You either gonna fight or you're not. But I wouldn't even entertain that shit.
What do you think?
You don't get that.
Gives more validity than Brook, though. Because I think that the Thurman fight.
Oh yeah. If he gets more validity than Brook, but I still wouldn't entertain it. Like, you told me go get a belt and we'll fight. Nothing happened. You told Spence the same shit. Nothing happened. Now that they both got belts and you itching for a fight, work your way back up, motherfucker, or get your strap back from Manny.
What do you think?
Honestly,
his resume and like his legacy and all of that, because Keith Thurman is a name. He's a former unified champion, and you know what I mean.
Yeah, he beat the top 47 pounders, but I mean, shit, you're only as good as your last performance, and his last two was ass.
Yeah.
Honestly, what Get This Smoke said, he said that
if Bud beats Keith Thurman, he wouldn't be A side over Errol Spence. Honestly, I can't see him being A side even if he beats Pacquiao.
No, but he'll have bargaining chip. It's 2 straps apiece.
Oh,
You
well,
can't
yeah.
you can't jump out the window and be like 70-30. Like, nah, motherfucker, I got 2 straps, you got 2 straps, 50-50.
Right, and I
Yeah.
beat Manny Pacquiao, so it's like that just kills the argument of, yeah, I definitely don't think he'd be A side with anyone, but at least some fights will give him leverage and some fights won't. Like, I don't think that a fight gives him any leverage at all.
Oh, if he beats Pacquiao, that shit is a strong 50-50. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That shit is straight down the pipe.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
But Keith Thurman not so much. But Keith Thurman does see, like with Charles, with me, I think that Keith Thurman, I think he does a little more for Bud than you do, I think. Because, like, let's not, like, a lot of people disrespect Keith Thurman, but how many times has Keith Thurman lost in his career?
Oh no, I'm not saying that. He only lost once. I mean, he's definitely a better guy. He's definitely he's one of the top names on the list that we got, because Brooks should be at the bottom. We all agree on that one. We didn't get to Porter yet, but I'm gonna tell you what I think about that one when we get to it. But it's just too many fucking intangibles with Thurman. Like, he did some. See, the tables are turned now, and now he need a fight. And that's karma coming back to kick him swift in the ass.
Honestly, what's the name? He could potentially. I'm kind of going to backtrack a little bit from what I said. He actually could become number 147 pounder if he beats either Thurman or Pacquiao.
You say wait. I don't put him number 1 if he beats Keith Thurman.
Especially if he going off his last 2 performances.
Errol Spence's best win is Shawn Porter.
Oh, go ahead, Battle. Go ahead.
Well, Errol Spence's best win is Shawn Porter and Brooke. And then I guess you can throw in a Lamont Peterson's or whatever, but the best guy he would have beaten has already been beaten by Keith Thurman. So if Bud beats him, then he already has a Amir Khan win. So Amir Khan should be better than Brooke at 147. So maybe probably not at that stage of his career, but still. Am I missing somebody? I guess Jose Benavidez, but that's it. So
this is what I say about the pound for pound. Bud is pretty firm on most people's list, top 3 pound for pound. I don't think that a fight with Thurman leverages it either way.
No, not pound for pound, just as far as welterweights.
Like, I don't know if it gives him. I mean, who doesn't consider him?
I can see where Battle's coming from with it.
I mean, I see where you're coming from, but like, who don't consider him the best welterweight right now?
Yeah, I mean, it leaves several glaring holes, like to say Keith Thurman, like, the Keith Thurman that beat those guys where the Keith Thurman was undefeated at that point. I mean, at that, it's not really an apples to apples, and you don't really do like top 5 guys based. I don't know. I don't know. That's just for me. That's not how you calculate who a top 5 is. They're a triangle theory.
Not triangle theory. I mean, he would have beaten, relative to his competition, 2 better guys than Errol Spence, unless you want to count Lamont Peterson.
Right, but you're saying that they're better guys, and you're saying that Mikey Garcia isn't, right? So we're throwing Mikey Garcia out of the equation.
I guess you can count Mikey Garcia. I mean,
right.
But
what I'm saying is, it's also which Keith Thurman you're fighting. It's the same thing goes for.
What's up, Nick? Go ahead, Smoke.
It's the same thing. Yeah, it's the same thing for going for Pacquiao. For Pacquiao, it's 50-50. But Pacquiao has a sterling, resume at 147. But a lot of it was a long time ago.
Yeah, but Keith Thurman.
Let's understand this too, guys. Let's understand this too. Nick Holman, shout out to you. Timmy Neelan, what's up with you, fam? Appreciate you coming through. But I want everybody to understand this now. I always call myself out, Trav FDY, when I'm a little bit biased, right? Well, Battle Rifle's a little bit biased because
wait, against Bud?
No. So let's understand that Battle Rifle gonna give just a little more credit to Keith Thurman than the rest of us will, because that's his man, dog. But
I mean,
no, hold on. Let me say this. In Battle Rifle's defense, I kind of give Bud, I think, more credit than a lot of people would for beating Keith Thurman, because even though he had that bad fight with Josecito Lopez, and I always trash him with that, and that's why I knew Manny was going to beat him. I think that it was too soon for Manny, but I do think that if Keith Thurman would have waited, maybe took another tune-up, he would have beaten Manny. And the fact that he went in there and lost with Manny, he still had a fight with Josecito Lopez and a fight with Manny Pacquiao. Now, he lost to Manny, but he's still back closer to the Thurman he was before, which makes this a tougher fight for Crawford. He's not the Thurman for Porter or Danny Garcia.
But he's saying he's 100% healthy this time around. Yeah, no injuries, no hand injuries, nothing.
Right. He's definitely that's what he's saying. Where he was when he going into the Josecito Lopez fight. He was still injured. And I kept telling people that he wasn't all the way back yet.
I'm just saying, I don't know how Keith Thurman is going to catapult you over the unified champ. No.
It won't give him any leverage. I don't agree with that.
Resume wise, it still would be better. He would be unified, but
that's only if you overlook that big red L on Keith Thurman's resume.
That's a big red L.
No, I don't agree with that, Smoke. Resume wise, like I'm 100% with Battle Rifle.
No, I'm saying, but L's matter on your resume. That's what I'm saying. On your resume, when you look at it, there's a big red L on there.
Okay, Smoke, I get that, but understand this: if he beats Keith Thurman, Terence Crawford, he literally has the best win on his resume at 147.
Oh yeah, definitely. That would be the best win on Terence Crawford's resume. Totally, yes.
And pretty much everyone else's besides Manny. It'll be better than anyone Spencer's fought and beat. Better than anyone Porter.
See, that's the thing. That's only if you overlook the fact that Keith Thurman is coming off of a loss.
Yeah, he is coming off of a loss. I get you. But even Keith Thurman off of one loss, is still better than anybody those guys have fought, Smoke. Even with that loss.
Didn't Shawn,
any of those guys? It's a better
Shawn Porter win his WBC title off of guy who lost? Or am I tripping?
But see, that's my thing. So did Errol Spence because he won it off of Shawn Porter. But my thing is this.
Well, Shawn Porter beat what's the name?
Well, look, this is what I'm saying, Battle. This is what I'm saying.
He lost that.
Even with Keith Thurman's one loss, he's still better than anybody on Spence's resume with that loss, and anybody on Porter's resume with that loss, anybody on Garcia's resume with that loss. He's still better.
Well, this is what I would do. This is what I would do.
I don't know. I mean, he's got better wins.
He loses to Manny Pacquiao. So who you lose to matters as well. And that's
definitely. But I think you guys are still discounting the loss a lot.
But I'm saying I'm not discounting the loss, and I just broke it down to you. Why?
No, I mean I get it. I heard you. I hear you. I'm just saying that. I'm just saying your value. I'm just saying
and I just broke it down to you why I'm not discounting.
No, I mean I get it. No, I get. No, I'm saying that I heard your breakdown, and in my interpretation, what I'm hearing is you discounting him in your breakdown. I think you're discounting the loss for how good a win Thurman would be. Like, great, it's a good name. It'd be his best name. I don't think there'd be the best name in the division just because Keith Thurman did something some years ago.
Slow down. I started this off defending Thurman, saying that he would be a big win. So what do you mean I'm discounting the loss? But when I'm saying that he would still be a big win, you're not making no sense.
Okay, because we changed the context of the conversation. When you said he's the best win now, that's a completely different thing now, right? That's not whether or not it's a big win for Terence Crawford, because we both agree on that. What we disagree is
a big win. Hold on. So we don't get into your wordplay game.
Yeah.
Thurman will be a big win and the best win.
Okay, yes. I don't think it'll be the best win, but okay.
Okay, well, who would be the best win for him then, if not
Probably
Thurman?
Pacquiao.
No, this this is why
the best win for him would be Errol Spence.
Dog, what do you smoke?
Yeah,
Okay.
but we talk about prior to getting that fight.
He ain't fighting.
Right, he just asked me. Right, he just asked me a straight question. I don't know what he's talking about. Like, exactly. I'm trying to fit his context. What I'm saying is,
Smoke. You got lost somewhere. You got lost somewhere for a second, because the whole discussion is this: Terence Crawford's fight. If the Manny Pacquiao fight doesn't fall through, the guys that we're going down would be guys that he would fight if he doesn't fight Manny Pacquiao. This is way before he ever fucking gets to Spence. So what I'm saying, and what everybody else is saying, I think everybody else understands but you, is if he beats Thurman at that time, it will be the biggest win, and it will be the best win, because he would not have fought Manny Pacquiao, and he would not have fought Spence. So what are you talking about, bro?
okay, for your say, okay, so the idea that beating Thurman would give him the best win in the welterweight division, that to me that doesn't compute, right? That's what I'm saying to you. I don't think if Terence Crawford beat Keith Thurman, then all of a sudden he has the best win at welterweight.
He and Pacquiao does, yes. Who? Okay, well, if they don't smoke, if they do not, what other fighter has a better win than Keith Thurman? Which other welterweight?
Okay, first off, I don't understand how we threw Pacquiao in there, because Pacquiao clearly has the better wins at welterweight. And what you said was, if Terence Crawford win, it would be him who had it. And I'm telling you, it wouldn't be him. It would not be Terence Crawford.
Right?
Yes, it would not be Terence Crawford. If he beats Keith Thurman, he would not have the best win at welterweight. That's all I said. That's all I've been saying.
You can just keep saying he wouldn't be the best win, but who the fuck
you
would?
said you just said Pacquiao. You out of your own mouth mentioned somebody.
Bro, you're not listening. I don't even know,
because he said Pacquiao beat Thurman. Thurman was undefeated and unified. So he said that's his first loss. So if Bud beats Thurman, he's saying that would be the biggest win.
And niggas like to argue sometimes. Smoke, you just like to argue sometimes. I specifically said we ain't looking at Pacquiao because we can't compare none of their resumes to Pacquiao. So I excluded him anyway. But the whole discussion, Smoke, is about Crawford and basically the other welterweight. Pacquiao sits alone, okay? But Pacquiao also beat Thurman. But I said we ain't going to include Pacquiao's resume because he kills their resume anyway. So he's the only other one who would have beaten Thurman. So if not Pacquiao, he's excluded. You can keep saying, no, he doesn't have the best win, but who does? Porter, Spence, you guys, Danny Garcia, who would have a better win than Bud at that point, Smoke?
Bro,
three of them people lost.
I was responding to Battle Rifle. You are changing the parameters. You already said who has a better one. That's what I'm telling you.
We got it. Let's move on. I don't even want to hear it no more, dog, because that's just ridiculous. But anyway,
I'll clarify. I'd say, you know, I always forget Pacquiao, even though he's my favorite guy. So I'd say, could you put him above Spence? I mean, yeah, you could put him above Spence, but maybe Pacquiao would still be the top dog of the welterweight division because Keith Thurman is already on his resume.
Look, this is the thing. You could only put him above Spence concerning a win on his resume, but you couldn't put him above Spence because if he beats Thurman, he would still be holding one belt and Spence would be holding two. So you still have to consider that. We have to remember this. Bob put this list up if he does not fight Pacquiao, not if he beats Pacquiao and then goes on to fight Thurman and Brook. This is not what we're talking about. This is if the Pacquiao fight don't happen, then he'll fight either Keith Thurman, he'll fight either Kell Brook, Shawn Porter, or you guys. This is what it's about. But it's like, so if he don't fight Pacquiao and he goes and beats up Thurman, I don't really give a damn who Thurman is. That's not going to put him over Spence, but it will give him a better name on his resume. He can't be over Spence considering welterweights because he'll only still be holding one belt. We got to keep all of that in context. How would he be over Spence holding one belt and Spence is unified already just because he beat Keith Thurman? It wouldn't work like that. Not in my opinion. Do anybody else think so?
Nope. It echoed my sentiments exactly.
Yeah, no, he doesn't go over. He doesn't go over Errol Spence, but you know, he would definitely. I don't think anybody would argue his resume anymore or his validation. Keith Thurman would definitely validate him at 147 because there's people arguing and have questions about what he's done at 147 because his best win is either Calvi Velasquez or Benavidez. Take your pick. So they need better. So Keith Thurman would provide that. He would provide that, but would it give him leverage in negotiations or say that he's over Spence because of that win? No. Would he have a better win on his resume at 147 than Spence? Yes, but he still hadn't accomplished more because Spence would be unified. And I think that outweighs just beating a Keith Thurman who's not 100% himself. It outweighs that. So that's my opinion on it, on the Keith Thurman situation. Monkey Kung Fu in the building. What's good with your Monkey Kung Fu? Appreciate you coming through, fam. I seen your earlier comment. Yeah, I was tripping. You seen that face? Carlos Mendoza, what's up with you, fam? Appreciate you. All right, guys, y'all ready to move on to the next guy, or did somebody else have another comment about Keith Thurman? Anyone? All
yeah,
right.
no, Keith Thurman is a choosy beggar. He should take this fight.
Yeah, for real. He should have no complaints. Take it quick. All right, guys. Next,
you send me a contract. I'll entertain it.
I'll entertain it. What the hell wrong with him, bro? You better take whatever you can. So next guy on the list, Dennis Ugas. So Bob Arum has Ugas on the list. Now, I tell all you guys, I think that fight was a swing fight with Shawn Porter and Dennis Ugas. I like Dennis Ugas. I don't think that he would beat Crawford, but I think that this would be a very valid fight. Validation. I think he's better than Horn. I think he's better than Benavidez, Khan, anybody he's fought. I think Dennis Ugas offers some things that could potentially give Crawford trouble, but Crawford's going to figure it out and, put the work on him. But I think I would have no arguments about this Dennis Ugas fight. It would not give him any leverage in the Spence situation. It still wouldn't give him any leverage. But if he was not to get the Manny Pacquiao fight, I do think that this is a valid fight, and I would have no complaints. Battle Rifle, or Charles D, I meant. What you think? Ugas, Crawford.
Shit, I like the Ugas against Spence or Crawford. Shit, he's the dark horse. He's gonna cause a problem to any one of them. Now, how long the fight goes before they figure him out, shit, I don't know. But he's the only person who made Porter look average.
Yeah, Battle Rifle, what you think?
I mean, I think I'm just probably the only person who's just really not so much on Ugas. I know he made Shawn Porter struggle, but I mean, I kind of seen it as maybe he had some certain intangibles to give Shawn Porter a type of fight where he couldn't just rely on him overly muscling out his opponent. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just not super sold on Ugas. I think this is just a fight where Crawford just picks him apart. I mean, would he get touched up? Sure. I mean, but it's a fight. He'd probably just start slower than what he does in normal fights and then pick up the pace once the fight gets later on.
Yeah, I can
Still a good fight though.
I mean, what does he really earn as far as beating Ugas? I mean, I don't think Ugas really beat anybody at 147.
Yeah,
Shit, well, him and Crawford
he gave Figueroa his only L.
Well, him and Ugas got a history though.
Yeah, I think it's a good fight. Bomac, this is a fight that Bomac has been calling for, since like around the Horn Benavidez fight. I think that it's a really good fight, a really good, tough fight. Also legitimizes him, beefs up the resume. But this is probably the highest risk, lowest reward.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I can't shit. I ain't dishes
I
clean.
mean, let's set Brook to one side, and say that is very little risk and very little reward, right?
Okay.
This is a fight. I kind of grown away from it, because of boxing and politics. But I try to refrain from doing that. Fighters need their fair shake. They need their title shots, and I mean, maybe he's a title eliminator or whatever. They need their fights, and I don't know what he's ranked in WBO. Maybe he's not ranked, but this is one of those fights where I guess we. Were you about to say something?
Oh no! You said he's probably ranked in the WBO. Who you talking about, Ugas?
Yeah, probably. I'm not sure. But maybe we still need to see these guys come up because we can't just. As much as we like to talk about the welterweight division, I think we kind of closed our eyes to the people at the bottom. Sometimes these guys need their fair shakes. So yeah, I mean, Ugas needs his fair shake. They need to have fights where they're not just fighting the guys we want to talk about. So this is kind of a fight for me. It's kind of a show him how it's done fight. Even though Shawn Porter struggled with him, Crawford is going to show him how it's done as a champion.
Yeah, I agree with that. Ty Legacy in the building. What's good with you, Ty? Well, I was just checking the rankings for Ugas. I don't know if he is ranked in the. He might be, but
I mean, even he can still take him as a voluntary. I'm sure he can petition WBO or something. Yeah, just by low risk, high reward. I mean, low reward, high risk, or the one that represents that the most. It's still a legitimate fight. It's just I think it's an actual tougher fight than he'll get credit for.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah, because they got to look at. Oh my bad, D.
No, go ahead, Charles. Go ahead.
Oh no, because they're gonna look at Ugas as like who is he beat type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So let him go in there and he gave a good account for himself against Porter. I thought he beat Porter.
Right. Yeah, a lot of people did.
And then Spence didn't take that fight. Spence ended up fighting what's his face? Fucking Ocampo.
Right, but that was his mandatory though, and a lot of people gave Spence heat for that, but bro, like I always say, the IBF, I always tell everybody with the Ocampo situation.
Oh, the IBF don't play that shit. I
never listen to anybody's shit about Spence and that Ocampo situation because everybody knows the IBF will strip you. He just got the belt from Kell Brook, bro.
Uh-huh.
He just got the belt from Kell Brook and had to go over to England and do it. So I'm not trying to hear anybody talk about, he ducked you guys to fight Ocampo. Shut up, bro, because he would have got stripped for that belt. And everybody knows the IBF don't bluff when it comes to that. You will.
Yeah, but we talk about like after that fight. You know what I'm saying? Instead of entertaining Mikey, a motherfucker coming up, all of the goofy shit.
Nah.
Nigga, what you eating? Cream cheese?
No, this is Harmony grits, bro. Look.
Oh.
How many?
Well, grits is made from hominy.
How many, man?
No, I was saying how many. I was making a joke. Anyway, sorry.
You got it.
Well,
but see, this is the thing, though. This is the thing. You go. I understand. They say, okay, well, he entertained Mikey Garcia, but look, Mikey Garcia was more than just the pay-per-view side of this thing. This is still prize fighting, guys. Let's be honest. If Spence don't fight Mikey and he goes and takes this Ugas fight, he'll beat Ugas. But would he have been the pay-per-view draw after beating Ugas as he was after beating Mikey Garcia? No. He just would have been a champion, still a champion that's not a pay-per-view draw. He would have been a Bud Crawford. That's what he would have been right now. A Crawford. A champion that should be a pay-per-view draw that's not. So you guys just I understand. Yeah, he was the better fight. I get that. But with Mikey running around behind Spence, like a little chihuahua, and then he goes and satisfy his mandatory. All right, let me go ahead and beat him up, get this big fat check, become a pay-per-view draw, and move on. And that's what he did with that. So F you guys.
Yeah. Mikey was talking that before the Lipinets fight. He was like,
Right.
you know, I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get this belt. I'm gonna move up. I'm gonna get that belt. And you know, Mikey was talking big.
Right. Like a little chihuahua running behind Spence.
I don't know what he saw, but he saw that ass whooping.
Toby Ball and Jay Blues in the building. Yeah, he talked himself right onto a good ass whooping.
He tried to talk himself into another one. Mikey know how to get into the fight.
He's still talking. He finally got his he finally got his heart back and started barking in that direction again. But I think it's more about getting the Pacquiao fight.
Yeah, you're right, Jay.
Shit, he talking about fighting Crawford too. Shit.
Yeah, like DE Jefferson.
Mikey trying to talk his way into a big ass payday.
You seen State Property?
Oh yeah, with Beanie Siegel.
You know how every time Beanie Siegel get mad, he be like, "Get the freak out!" Yo, Stu, Big Stu.
Yeah,
that's how I feel.
But you know, back to you guys though. I have no problem with you guys fight. I would actually like to see that because I think it can give Crawford some trouble, bro. I think it can give Crawford some trouble, and I just like to see Crawford get mad and go dog on the dude. I think that's what will happen with you guys. You guys will do something to frustrate him, and Crawford would get mad and just start beating the hell out of him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like they're both real petty. Both of those dudes are real petty in the ring, but Crawford is just a little bit more dangerous and a little bit more mean. So like all that, you know, this little competition that Ugas gets into, it's like he tries to like finesse you and shows you how slick he is, but Crawford's going to show you how hard he hits and how mean he is, and I don't think Ugas is ready for that one.
I'd still watch it. I like it. I like the fight.
Yeah. I would love to watch the fight. And you know, it'll be a valid fight for Crawford. I don't think anybody should have arguments or say who did he beat. Well, he beat you guys. What are you, stupid? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's how it would go with that. All right, guys. Y'all already know who the next man is. And I pretty much thought that he would be the toughest challenge, in my opinion, for Terence Crawford. I think that when we look at the guys outside of Manny Pacquiao, let's exclude Manny Pacquiao because all of this is just in case he doesn't fight Manny. But outside of Manny Pacquiao, I would rate Shawn Porter higher than the rest of the guys. So it would be the highest rated opponent for Terence Crawford as well. Pure validation, because Shawn Porter has not been stopped by anyone, and he hasn't been ran through. In the losses he's taken, it was all tough losses. So Shawn Porter is definitely a valid opponent. But outside of Shawn Porter just being a valid opponent, I think Shawn Porter actually has a chance to beat Terence Crawford. I wouldn't bet on Porter, but I think when you look at Thurman, you look at Kell Brook, and you look at you guys, I think Porter has the best chance to beat Crawford. So Battle Rifle, I'll let you start with that. You there, Battle? All right. Charles D, you want to crack at it? Battle playing with his toes.
First say he playing with his toes.
First off, freezing on me. Go ahead, Charles.
First off, Crawford ain't stopping Bud. You can cancel that shit. That shit's not happening. If he does that, statement. Big time statement. Right. But I also think Porter shouldn't be the next fight for him. Because how you lose a close fight and get rewarded another title shot? You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's because nobody else wanted to step up.
Well, shit. Does he have a rematch to get his shit back to fight Spencer? No. Or that was one and done for unification?
No, that was one and done.
Oh, he's a fucking idiot.
But if nobody else in the division want to step up and fight Crawford, then we can't complain about Porter getting a shot because he's.
Oh no, hell no! I'd watch it, but if yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'd watch it, but he just lost his strap.
On the note of like he just lost, so he don't deserve it. I agree with that. But when it comes to Crawford, if he the only one willing to step up and take the challenge,
yeah, then I would watch it. Yeah, I ain't got nothing wrong with that fight, and I don't. And he is not stopping Porter. You can hang that up.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
So everybody that's in the chat talking about, oh, he'll stop him. He'll do shit. This motherfucker been hit by the best of them.
Spence was
and ain't nobody stop him. And Spence just made that motherfucker glove touch. He ain't even take a full knee because that nigga tapped his gloves and was ready to get right back at it.
Yeah, and he caught him clean too.
Caught him with some shit he ain't seeing. All he did was he was mad his glove tap and got right back up and was like, "Oh, let's go,
let's go." Yeah,
mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's why I agree, bro. And I think that he will be out of all of those guys, really between him and Thurman, I think will be Bud's toughest competition behind the guys that, bro. I think that Thurman, even though I like you guys and all of that, I still think Thurman would be a tougher opponent for Crawford than you guys. Because Thurman knows
because they'll box.
Yeah, he boxes better, he knows more. So, but Porter, I think, will be tougher than all of them.
Porter bring the dog out of him. Porter, he'll push the pace.
Yeah, and he knows intricate things about him.
And if he knows Bud, and if he knows Bud can't hurt him, he gonna be in his check. He gonna be in that phone booth.
I think he's gonna be in the phone booth anyway, because that's how Porter fight.
Yeah, but especially if he knows that he can take your punch. Oh, you ain't keeping him off you.
Dude,
you better be. He going 12 rounds.
Spence popped his eyes. You know he was hurt. Even though his glove hit that ground, and he went right back in the phone booth. So I'm saying, even if Bud do pop it was, I think Porter going right back in there, just like he did with Berto. And he might light Bud eyes up like he did Berto. Wow, you can't punch me if you can't see me, man. Battle or smoke? What you think, man? Shawn Porter, Terence Crawford.
Yeah, that's a good fight. Shawn Porter, that was a split decision, a tough fight. He's building up a hell of a resume about fighting everybody. If he put having Crawford on there, all that's left is Pacquiao after that. I don't see Terence Crawford stopping Porter, but I don't see Terence Crawford stopping anybody outside of Kell Brook, right? Again, of anybody. Like, I don't see him really stopping Pacquiao. I don't see him stopping Ugas. It's a good fight. I would love to see it. It's a rough affair. I think Shawn Porter is just his accuracy is the thing that lets him down. It's not his heart. It's not his will to win or anything like that. I think they both got a lot of dog in them. It'll be a very entertaining fight that I imagine that Terence Crawford will win off of clean punching and like ring generalship kind of thing.
Yeah, I agree totally. Shawn Porter, battle rifle. Let me let you jump in before I start ranting again.
Honestly, this is a fight where it could have happened already. It's kind of both parties kind of ducked each other. It's weird, welterweight division is like that. But it would be honestly, we're going to see another Keith Thurman and Shawn Porter. I just know it. But
shit, you're gonna see another Thurman Danny Garcia. Shit.
Yeah. But that we really don't need one of those. But Terence Crawford, I think it would kind of be like I don't know how to describe this fight, because that was arguably that is Errol Spence' toughest fight. So how would it transfer over to the Bud? I'm not sure. That's a hard fight. Bud is a boxer. Boxer puncher, but Shawn Porter will make you brawl in box because he can do both. So I'm not sure how that translates over.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how it would. You know, it would really depend too on how Bud beat him. If Bud like totally outboxed and beat him and didn't allow him to get off, you know, all of that, man, I would really say Spence don't have a damn chance. That's how I would see it. I ain't even gonna lie. But I don't think that it would be a fight like that. I don't think Bud would just, you know, totally outclass Porter. Porter, like Battle Rifle said, Porter's got that style that makes you get in there and rumble. And the thing with Crawford is Porter is going to catch Crawford. And when he catches Crawford, just like in any other fight, is like I always say, like Tyler Perry Madea. You get me, I'm gonna get you back. Like that's Crawford, bro. You hit him, he coming to get his revenge, his vindication. And sometimes he gets a little reckless when he does that. So it's a very good chance that dog fight happens. And, you know, I'm just not sure because we've seen Crawford put down. We've seen him on noodle legs. We've seen him hurt to the body. We ain't seen that with Shawn Porter. So if they get into a dog fight with each other and they're banging it in there, I mean, it's safe to say that who's more susceptible to be hurt in a fight like that between these two guys? Is it Crawford or is it Porter? I would say Crawford.
Yeah. Porter keeps a hell of a pace. He's all his activity and his will. I don't think Crawford experienced anything like that. Crawford takes some breaks. He does a lot of looking and calculating and all that stuff. Porter doesn't give you time to think like that. I think it'll be an exchange, and I definitely think it'll be a dogfight because that's just the way Shawn Porter fight. All his fights, he turns them into something like that.
Yeah, Jay Cooley said Bud don't want that fight. He knows Shawn Porter will beat him. He only wants EJ so he can retire. He never mentioned Pat when he moved up. He mentioned.
Hold on, D.
Yeah, that's wrong.
Because I just threw the interview that I asked you that earlier. If you caught the interview with Brian Custer, you caught that, D?
Yeah.
With Bud?
Yeah, I did a video on that.
Yeah, Bud answered all your questions, Jay Cooley, so you can knock all that off.
I know. I was
exactly, and even before that interview, he definitely mentioned Pac when he was moving up. Yeah. He most definitely mentioned Pac.
He was mentioning Pac when they was both times. In the same goddamn stable.
He even called out Pac.
Should have been fought Jay Cooley before 147.
He even called Pac on his crap for saying that you knew I called you out numerous times, but you didn't want to fight. You even said on numerous occasions that you didn't want to fight neither me or Errol Spence. So that's not even.
The funny thing is, he been calling. Oh, my bad.
Kramer in the building. My bad, Charles D. John Kramer, what's up with you, dog? Jay Cooley, that's not true, bro. He mentioned Pac before. You just missed it, dog.
Exactly. He been trying to mention
it. He did it before, Jay Cooley. That wasn't just now. He did it before.
They did it when they were both on fucking Top Rank.
Yeah. You just missed that one, Jay Cooley. Don't worry. We don't always catch everything.
Nah, Jay Cooley got selective hearing and selective points.
Like Bud Crawford, bro. You can say what
exactly
you want, Jay Cooley. I already know you do not like Bud Crawford.
And I fuck with Spence. Before the car accident, I picked Spence to beat Crawford. But right now, it's like I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what me and you both did, but I don't know what Spence is looking like right now.
Yeah, man.
And the fact he wants to do this no tune-up bullshit. I mean, shit. Good luck with that. I hope everything work out.
I think it will. I think it will work out for him. All right. Sorry, guys, man. I was starving. I ain't eat all morning.
Nah, go ahead and bust it down, nigga, because I'm about to do the same thing, nigga. I just got my I just got my shit from curbside, from IHOP, nigga. I got my motherfucker.
Right. Okay.
Pancakes and omelet joint popping. I'm about to do the same shit you do.
Brian Harkin in the building. What's up, Brian? So Jay Cooley said, no, I like Bud. His fans make me. Yeah, I know how it is, Jay Cooley.
That's usually how it always is.
No, it's the same way. Right now, I was picking with Jay Cooley when I said he don't like Bud, but it's the same way with me, Jay Cooley, but with you and Spence. See, because anytime I come on Spence, then Jay Cooley he be jumping on my case. But that's how you act. Just like Bud fans act with you, Jay Cooley. That's how you act with me with Spence. Now, I'm going to say this. Terence Crawford and Errol Spence, at this point, I have to edge Terence Crawford. I don't care about no Errol Spence fans that don't agree. Listen, man. Listen. This dude had a tumultuous fight with Shawn Porter. Okay? Then he got into an accident. There's no freaking way you're going to sit and tell me that you edged Bud to win that fight. That just don't make no sense to me. I mean, that you edged Spence to win that fight, Jay Cooley. That makes no sense to me. We ain't seen nothing from Spence since he got into that accident. And he had a tough fight with Porter. He was supposed to, Jay Cooley, you, even me, and a lot of other Spence fans. Now, I thought he was going to beat Shawn Porter a lot more convincingly than he did. Okay, I will admit that. All that stoppage and that dumb shit, no, I used to tell he knows and all of them, he's not going to stop Shawn Porter. I wasn't going that far with it. But I thought that it would be at least like a 9-3 fight or something like that. But no, that was a close damn fight. And you have to admit that. So because of that, man, you can't just say Spence going in there and he beating Crawford. I mean, logically, you got to edge Crawford. We got to see something. Now, if he goes in there and he washes Danny, then we have to revisit this conversation. If he goes in there and washes Danny Garcia. But I'm going to need to see Spence go in there with Danny Garcia and put on an impressive fight. I don't even want to see no Porter-style fight. Y'all know what I mean with that? Like, I got to see an impressive fight with Danny Garcia. What y'all think?
I was eating pancakes. What you said? Something about what?
If when Errol Spence goes in to fight Danny Garcia,
right?
If I'm going to change my mind to say, yeah, I got Spence winning again, I'm going to need that fight to be an impressive win.
If he goes in there and he really makes Danny look like a goddamn tune-up after the shit he just went through,
right?
Shit.
Yeah, I haven't switched my pick. I just need to see what it looks like.
And then it depends on what Danny we got, because Smoke, you threw that picture up of this nigga looking out of shape dancing with a chick with a donkey.
Yeah, Smoke was he's a rebel. He said, I'm not switching my pick regardless. Fuck that.
I gotta see it. I had a question mark. Now I just don't know. I can't switch my pick. I can't, you know, that would assume that would assume that there's something wrong, right? So first I got to make sure that there's something wrong before I just say Bud's gonna do something. You know, I still think Bud's got a lot of people to fight. Like if Kell Brook would padding his would juicy up his resume at this point, fatten up his resume, then he's got a lot of work to do.
Nah, that picture you threw up, Smoke, that nigga looked like he's far from training. This nigga had the Bundini brown sailor hat on with the chick with the fatty. I was like, oh, this dude is not training. He's really disrespecting Spence right now.
Yeah. Well, all right. So let's sum all of this up though. And not to end the show, but I want to kind of just go over. So what do y'all think? Who do y'all think? Who would y'all opinion be? I'm just gonna say between Thurman and Shawn Porter is more likely to beat Bud, because I don't really put Kell Brook and you guys. I think that Shawn Porter. Who do you guys think has the best chance?
Who guys would be a good fight? Thurman, he got to get back in shape.
I think Thurman actually has the skill, man.
He has a skill set to give him a problem, because that'll be a high-speed chess match. I
think he got the skill set to beat him, bro.
No. I'm not disagreeing with that, and I'm saying he's also saying right now there's nothing hindering him, no injuries, no nothing. But he also said the same shit when he fought Josecito Lopez, and he was on his little get back shit. So we need.
We knew that one, because like I said, look, bro, this is why I say.
But he needs a tune-up so we can judge, we can gauge. hands work, elbow not hurting. He can move around.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
the second half of the Pacquiao fight was good.
The Pacquiao fight went on. We saw Terence Crawford get better, and that was it. That was the issue.
I was about to say, when the hell did you see him fight Crawford?
Yeah. No, sorry. As the Pacquiao fight went on, Thurman got better, right? And that was a testament to the ring rust. Like, even the knockdown, which turned out to be the determining factor, was in the first round, and it was off a stupid mistake, right? It was off to me, that was just not being sharp and making a rookie mistake. And that's a product of not being in the ring for a while, right? So I'm thinking that he shouldn't need another camp. He should be sharp. He was definitely sharp by the end. Pacquiao definitely, got a round in there late in the fight, definitely. But still, Thurman looked good.
But that body shot, yeah, D.
I know you hear Battle Rifle, and I want to hear from you because I know you be watching Thurman. And like the last 6 rounds of that fight, bro, I started to see Thurman like utilize his lateral movement like I'm used to seeing him. He was catching Pac, like Pac would throw from angles. Thurman was sidestepping them, and he was getting back into somewhat of his mojo. No, he wasn't the one-time Thurman. He still once upon a time Thurman, but he was closer than that. That Josecito Lopez fight, he looked horrible to me. He didn't look good at all. He didn't look sharp. His timing was off. But in the Manny Pacquiao fight, I seen a lot of that come back, but at a high level. So I'm thinking now you go from Josecito Lopez, even though you lost the Manny Pacquiao fight, look at the level of fighter, and he started to sharpen up in the second half of that fight. I don't really think he needs another tune-up. I think he's back where he's going to be, like at the level as high as he's going to be, because health-wise, he's feeling better than he's felt before. And I think those 2 fights was all he needed to shake it off. I think Thurman's good. And he, listen, man, Keith Thurman skill-wise is still Keith Thurman. He may have lost a step or 2 here or there on other attributes, but his skill, his experience, his generalship, he knows how to get away. You know what I mean? I think he'll be a problem for Crawford. I really do. Battle, are you still there? Or are you playing with your toes again?
Wait, I'm still here.
What you think? I think Keith Thurman, but it's between Keith Thurman and Porter who would be the toughest fight for Crawford. What do you think?
The toughest? The toughest, I think it would be Shawn Porter. The potential to win, I think I'll have to go with Shawn Porter again. I think
what's up, man?
I think Keith Thurman, for him to get that lovely right hand that he gets off against a lot of people, it would have to be somebody who kind of just stands directly in front of him. But Crawford, knowing he can switch head, and he almost seemingly appears much longer once he switches to southpaw. That's going to be much harder to serve the right hand. Now, I never doubted Keith Thurman to fight southpaws, but I mean, just throwing that right hand down a pipe, he was doing it against Pacquiao, Danny Garcia. I don't know if that's going to work so much against Crawford, unless Crawford is the one just chasing him the entire time. So honestly, I just think that's much favorite of Crawford. I think eventually it'll be one of those fights that's going to be boring the first couple of rounds, and then Crawford's going to find his rhythm like he did against Jose Benavidez, just getting off those body shots and getting off those those left uppercuts, coming up over the top. So yeah, I think I would favor that to Shawn Porter to actually beat or give Crawford a tougher fight.
My man, Unrivaled Boxing Talking News in the building. Mark says, I like Porter or you guys. So, and I talked about you guys earlier, and I do think, Mark, that's not a bad pick because I don't know how long you've been in here, but I said earlier that I think you guys gives them some problems. So, that's not a bad pick, those two. Boxing Virus in the building. What's up? He said, get lit.
Both said Ugas will give him a little issue until he gets figured out.
What's up, Andre? Andre in the building. He said, Your boy Nuke out here saying Fury is a hype. Yeah, I know. Nuke, I knew. I talked to Nuke about it. I knew it would get to that anyway. I'm getting ready to go over there and bug out on him in a little bit. Boy got a 4-inch reach advantage, and yeah, Crawford got some long arms. You know, his reach is the same as Jamal, a half inch longer than Jamal Charlo's. Terence Crawford reaches.
My boy got freaking sloth in there, man.
Yeah, he's got gorilla arms, bro. He's like a little fucking
damn octopus,
like a damn chimpanzee.
He can tie his shoes. He can tie his shoes standing straight up.
Anthony Davis got some
that motherfucker anyway. Could tie his. He could tie his shoe or wipe his ass with the same hand with long ass arms.
Yeah, Kevin Durant and Anthony Davis have really long arms. Like it's weird watching those two like move around the court. Their arms are super long.
They say Terence Crawford can play basketball, bro. Like he's good at basketball.
He probably can.
Yeah, he could ball and he good at wrestling.
Yeah, you know, yeah, he's good at wrestling too. Yeah.
His son just won the state title,
strong, bro. They can rip your arms off the socket.
Yeah, that's crazy. He's like one of those Evander Holyfield types where he's athletic and then it's gonna rub off, I guess, on one of his kids. I mean, not trying to say they didn't put it in the work, but Evander Holyfield's son played football too, and I think the boxer one where
his son, Evan Holyfield is the boxer, but all his sons are athletic in some form or fashion. But Smoke, what do you think? I didn't mean to cut you off, Rifle. I want to get back to it. Smoke, what do you think? Who do you think has the best chance to beat Crawford?
Yeah, I would say it's Thurman. I would say it's Keith Thurman. Porter, depending on what, Porter's just not accurate enough for me. But he's had a good shot at it.
Manny's got to himself. Oh, my bad.
Yeah, no, Porter, Porter just, he swims with his punches. That's really what it is. He's like, he's more like, basically he's aggression. It's not necessarily effective. It's not necessarily effective against everybody. I think that it won't be that effective against Terence Crawford, right? He's just not accurate enough. I think the problem with Thurman is his inside game. I don't know, man. It's not that cool. I see him getting out countered and outmaneuvered, really. Yeah, but I still say it's Thurman. Pacquiao, that's Thurman. It's Thurman.
Yeah, no, Pacquiao. We're not talking Pacquiao because this is in the event that he doesn't get the Pacquiao fight. You know
right. Yeah, so so an event is not that. Then out of Ugas, Porter, Thurman, and Brooke. Yeah, Brooke is probably the most likely to get stopped, and then. The other guys are they just get outpointed, and Thurman probably the roughest fight would be Porter, and then Thurman would have the best shot at actually winning the fight.
Right. Scott Brown, what's up, Scott Brown? Scott Brown said you guys versus Crawford, Heyman would let you guys cross the street just like you did. Yeah, I agree with that, Scott. They'll send him right on over. Yep, take your ass on over there. No problem.
I almost mentioned Mikey, but Mikey ain't gonna do no business with no Bob Bear.
Mikey ain't gonna fight Terence Crawford. It's not worth it for him.
But also, he ain't gonna do no business with Bob Bear again.
Yeah, but he's just not gonna mess with Terence Crawford. He's not doing that. Wasi said Thurman has very little chance against Crawford. I like to see Pacquiao. Well, Wasi, you jumping in late. Pacquiao wasn't even really in this discussion because this was Bob Arum put out a list of 4 fighters potentially if Crawford didn't fight Pacquiao. So we were saying out of the 4 fighters, Wasi, which was Kell Brook, Shawn Porter, Ugas, and Thurman, who had the best chance of beating Crawford. And I said Porter or Thurman. So for people that say Porter, I get that. And even you guys, I get that. If anybody would have said Brook, I'd have said you must be smoking crack because Kell Brook is not going to beat Terence Crawford. But I would just say Thurman because I think Thurman has the movement, and I think he's back. I think he's back more than people believe he is. I think just because he lost to Pacquiao, they're not realizing just how far along Thurman has come. I think that's been blinded because he lost to Manny Pacquiao. But I just paid attention, and I think Smoke saw this as well. I paid attention to the second half of that fight. And I see in the second half of that fight, I seen glimpses of what we know Thurman to be. And now he has time to further heal and train more. I think that he's going to be a problem. Because I was never like a hater of Thurman. I just didn't like the fact that he kept ducking my boy Spence. That's what it was.
Mm-hmm. You know what? Them welterweights, man. That's what they do, man.
Yeah, he kept ducking Spence. So, but as far as his skill and everything like that, you know. Well, I mean, I can accept Porter. So, hey, Charles D, me some closing thoughts on today's discussion, man. I just wanted to kind of talk about that situation. This one wasn't really wanting to talk about that. You know, I thought it was pretty interesting that Bob gave those names. I think that they're all names that, you know, we
can't deny if he fights him.
Right. We don't have to trash Crawford about it if he don't get the Pacquiao fight, because it's like this. This is how the situation would end, really. He tried to fight Pacquiao. He couldn't
work out.
It didn't work out.
Yeah, best alternators.
Right. So he fought one of these guys, and I think that it's totally acceptable. That list, if not Pacquiao, with everything we talked about, that list that Bob Arum gave, if he fights one of those guys, if not Pacquiao, I'm totally satisfied with that. And that's pretty much why I wanted to have this discussion and go over that. So what do you think? Go ahead, Smoke. What do you think?
Yeah, but just in summary, it looks like he's fighting Kell Brooks, and he's cleaning that up with a bunch of names that we would actually not mind. There was one guy who's actually going to fight.
I don't think he's going to. Smoke. I don't think he's cleaning it up with Brooks.
Let him finish because I like that thought. I like that thought. Go ahead, Smoke. I kind of like
you know, he's teasing us with a bunch of fights where we wouldn't mind, and he's actually going to slip us the one that we actually don't want to see at all. That doesn't do a damn thing for Terence Crawford.
Yo, I like that. I like that thought. I'll tell you why. Go ahead, Charles. I want to come back to that, Smoke. Go ahead, Charles.
I'll tell you why I don't believe that, because he's in the UK and they got that traveling ban. So he can't be shoveling us that bullshit because Brooke can't come over. He can't come over here. So I honestly think they working on the Pacquiao fight. I don't think it's gonna fall through. Hopefully it does.
Wait, Pacquiao lives in the Philippines.
Yeah, but Pacquiao also stays in Vegas.
Yeah, and they don't.
That's when he trains.
But they don't have the ban up in the Philippines.
Exactly. But the UK got the ban up because that was one of the first places that they shut down. One of the main places they shut down.
Yeah.
So why y'all telling these lies? Y'all already know Brooke is hiding somewhere in Vegas, you know, on the slot machines.
How we telling lies? Okay, Battle Rifle. How we telling lies when the UK was the first ones to get shut down?
I'm joking.
Yeah, no. They also have they put protocols in place to actually how to have fights. You have to quarantine and be there, and that's if you go to the UK. You can come here.
Yeah,
but you also got to quarantine when your ass get here. That shit works in reverse, also.
Yeah.
Same thing with the same thing with Loma.
Yeah, you got.
I'm just saying. So the only fight that I could see logistically happening because motherfuckers ain't traveling would be Porter, because he's already here. Ugas already here, Florida. Everyone else is a fucking visitor. Pacquiao, even though he stays in Vegas, but he's the senator of the Philippines, so you don't know what the fuck his traveling situation is. Yeah, and yeah, also in Thurman. But I don't think Crawford's gonna entertain that shit. Unless that's like his last option.
You get the Pacquiao fight, and just like you said, Brooke may have a problem traveling. Then Thurman may be on a ticket because I No.
I'm saying he's on a ticket, but he may be the last person on a ticket because you still got Ugas and you still got what's his face. Besides the other two, besides the other two that's out international. But Porter, and Ugas might be the guys that's gonna get that fight.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying.
See, Jay Cooley, stop that. He said it's crazy to me how all the PBC guys have to call out Bud. So
who called out Bud? Jay Cooley, you are stuck on this PBC shit.
Hold on. I'm not even going to read the rest of that, Jay Cooley, simply because they ain't calling out Bud. So stop that, Jay Cooley. None of them won't even fight him. What are you talking about?
And then Jay Cooley
got to call out Bud. Bud trying to make these fights happen. He did Danny Garcia have to call out Bud when he turned down the money? Spence fought Porter. He's fighting Danny Garcia. Did he have to call out Bud? Pacquiao and them are just now considering a fight with Bud. Did they have to call out Bud Crawford? Stop that, Jay.
Imagine if
he had to call out Bud Crawford. Bro.
Can I shut him down too? Because he's probably the same idiot that's gonna say he should have signed to the PBC. But why Spence didn't fight motherfucking Thurman and they both on the same side of the street? Tell me why Thurman ducked his ass and Spence had to go all the way to the motherfucking UK to fight Kell Brook. And they on the same side of the street.
Hey, shit. Thurman fought Pacquiao, man. So you can say all that, but at the end of the day, Thurman fought Pacquiao. So
yeah, but smoke that also came later, and Thurman thought I'm on my get back year, I could whoop his ass, and that shit worked all wrong.
Like you said, get back, right? That means out.
Let me tell you this real quick. Smoke and battle rifle. Y'all keep y'all mics on mute. I will keep my mic on mute too. Charles D. This is a Speaking Bio Sports Talk live daily special. If Jay Cooley click that link, Jay Cooley just send that link for Charles Diaz.
Yeah, send it because this dude is he all over the goddamn place, man. And why is Bud doing this and why is Bud doing that? Why isn't Spence doing this shit?
Jay Cooley is good money, but
I'm cool with Jay Cooley. Cool.
Duper Spence fan.
and it shows.
Put that link out there. Other than that, I'm getting ready to close it down. Smoke. I didn't get smoke. Our battle rifle. I didn't get your final thoughts on today's. While we waiting to see if Jay Cooley will click that link. What do you think, battle rifle? Summarize today's discussion, fam.
It's kind of mostly I agree with Charles D. I think if anything, we could probably see Ugas first or Porter. Honestly, there's like a little history between Porter and Crawford because they kind of both kind of called each other out, but kind of ducked each other. It was weird, but I mean, I think he would fight Ugas first. You know, probably easier fight, and probably just not going to have to deal with the previous fiasco they did beforehand. So yeah, I would like to see him against Ugas. I mean, like at least where we're going to go now because these fights are not going to happen when we want them to. At least not during this thing going on.
Yeah, that travel ban's fucking up a lot of shit. And then people got to quarantine after it's over and all that shit. Like, that's one of the main factors for all this shit.
It's funny, Charles D?
Hold on. Go ahead, Jay Cooley. Say what you got.
This for Charles Diaz.
I'm listening, brother.
Okay.
You look like get the smoke.
Hey, so tell me, so you saying none of the PBC guys done call out Bud? None of them?
Nope.
Not one.
Name one.
Ugas done called them out.
But we all just said Ugas did, and they said it was low. It's low
but
risk.
Y'all said none of them called them out, and before Shawn, Porter, and Earl fought. If you watch the pay-per-view, if you ordered the pay-per-view, did he have a little Mike Tyson punch-out little thing and he had Terence Crawford ass on there?
Yeah, he had the sweatshirt.
Okay, so is that calling them out?
Dude,
no.
that's not calling them out.
That ain't calling them out.
First off, that's him wearing a sweatshirt. There's a lot of niggas with that Mike Punch-Out shirt on. But you also said Ugas ain't worth. He's not worthy of that shot.
Nigga, I ain't never said Ugas. When have I said Ugas ain't not worth it?
We was just nigga. I was just arguing with you in the chat about that shit.
Nigga, you a lie because we were arguing about the wrong thing. I ain't never said Ugas ain't worth the hell. He should fight Ugas.
Exactly. We on the same page with that one, but what was we just talking about? We was just arguing about that Ugas shit, nigga. I was on the chat and I was trying to talk to your ass at the same time.
Well, we must have a misunderstanding. He need to fight Ugas. That's probably the only fight that's willing to make, because Ugas ain't no $5 million, $6 million pay-per-view star.
No, and
send that $2 million to Ugas. You think Ugas ain't gonna take it?
Nobody is a pay-per-view star like that.
I said, and I'm the same I said the same shit. He don't got that travel ban on him. He in Florida.
Well,
the only thing I think he got that travel ban on is with Brooke and what's his face.
Brooke ain't fighting at 147.
No, well, we need to see if he can make 147 first.
No, that's hell no. I wouldn't even want him to fight Brooke anyway.
Why not? If he can make 47.
Brooke is done, man. Stay at 154, man. Brooke is done. He ain't gonna get no credit for fighting no damn Kell Brooke, man. Fuck. Mean Machine probably could beat Brooke, shit.
But everybody said Bud ain't got no name on his resume.
He don't need to fight Kell Brooke. Fight Ugas. Fight Virgil Ortiz or somebody. Shit.
I don't agree with the Virgil Ortiz. He on the come up, but I do agree with the Ugas.
Shit, Jerron Ennis got 25 fights. Shit, Earl Spence only got 25 fights. Fight Jerron Ennis.
But who did Ennis fight in his? What was the person?
Exactly. Can't now one of them get no fights, fight each other.
No. Who did Ennis fight? What was the ranking of the person Ennis just fought?
Nobody. He haven't fought nobody. That's why he got 25 fights. And who had Bud fought?
That last person
who had Bud fought though?
In the top 15.
But who had Bud fought though? Besides Postal and Jeff Horn to get them belts. Who has Bud fought besides that? Indigo, whatever the fuck his name. That man, really?
Oh,
come on, be honest. Who had Bud fought besides Jeff Horn and motherfucking Postal?
Name Jeff Horn, Benavidez.
No, name him, man. Come on, really?
No. You said
Mikey Garcia would have whooped the shit out of Benavidez.
I don't think
one fucking leg.
Are you
and
bugging?
Goddamn, Lamont Peterson to run through everybody on Bud resume except Mean Machine, I think.
Oh, listen, okay. So Lamont Peterson is going to be Amir Khan.
Yes,
you said who he beat. Out of the 3 fighters he fought at welterweight.
Y'all giving Bud credit for Amir Khan. Amir Khan is not the same Amir Khan that fought Danny Garcia, bro. Come on, he ain't the same. But he ain't the same Amir Khan that fought Canelo, bro. Quit giving Bud credit for that fucking Amir Khan fight. Quit giving him credit. Amir Khan quit. He knew he wasn't gonna beat Bud. Stop giving that man credit for that shit.
I'm not giving him credit for that, but the one thing you can't take away from that shit is Amir Khan was undefeated at welterweight when he fought Bud. Nobody beat him at 147.
Amir Khan was running from Kell Brooke, dude. He was looking for a payday.
Who cares? But he was still undefeated at 147. All
and past his prime, man. Fuck that.
Yo,
fuck that.
Yo, Cooley. All right. Listen. All Bud is doing is beating who's put in front of him.
I understand that. Respect.
Okay, and what about and Wilder? His 10 defenses.
We ain't talking about Wilder. To me,
no. We're gonna run that comparison. We're gonna talk about that.
If you can,
what's the difference? What's the difference between them two? They beating who's put in front of them, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then. So,
but it's more competition at welterweight than it is heavyweight.
Bud can't get the competition.
Okay, and that's all the other fighters' fault.
The heavyweight division is thin. That's not Bud's fault if the niggas from PBC don't want to fight him.
Oh my God! How come it ain't? You gotta send offers, bro. If you claiming that listen, Charles. Listen.
Right,
if you claiming you the best pound for pound welterweight in the division, can't nobody beat you. I'm unstoppable. I'm the baddest man in the ring. Go to Bob and say, get whatever they fucking want because we're gonna take all the belts and get all the money from them. Now, will you do that if you was Bud?
Okay, and wouldn't you do that if you was on
Bud should tell Bob to pay the man whatever they want if he the best. Because he gonna beat him.
Okay, so that don't work for the PBC fighters who rely on
Why?
him.
Because we got all the belts. We got most of the belts, and we fighting on pay-per-view. We fighting on pay-per-view.
Not
Keith
fighting.
Thurman,
Nobody's fighting. Nobody's fighting on pay-per-view on PBC. Are you serious?
dude. Earl been fighting on
fighting?
pay-per-view ever since he fought Mikey. You think he gonna come back from an accident and not fight Danny Garcia on pay-per-view? Come on, man. Listen, I erase the pay-per-view. Erase it.
Okay,
erase the pay-per-view. Okay.
Who's fault is that?
PBC fighters ain't been fighting each other. They haven't been fighting each other.
Okay, so what happened with Spence? What happened with Spence Thurman?
With Spencer who?
Spencer Thurman.
Keith Thurman ran the fuck off, and that's why they vacated the title and made Shawn Porter and Danny Garcia fight for the damn title. And you tell me PBC ain't fighting each other? Get the fuck out of here, man. Bud picked the wrong side, and y'all keep saying to him, they scared. They scared the man. He can leave Bud with the belt. He can leave Bud with the belt. He can leave Bud with the belt. Then what? He still would have the belt if he leave Bud. He still would have the belt. So what's the problem?
The best ain't fighting the best on PBC side, period. Coolly. So if he went to PBC, they still not fighting.
They still fighting, bro. When they ain't Danny and Earl finna fight in September.
They're Cooley.
It wasn't Danny Silva. Wait. Hold on. We gonna dead that one. Is it Danny the number one in the WBO? Why he ain't fighting Bud?
Because didn't he just turn down?
All right, Jay Cooley, Charles D. I need some closing thoughts, bro. I gotta go.
For 2 belts, and it's on PBC.
Still talking. Jay Cooley, give me some closing thoughts, bro. I'm getting ready to leave.
Oh no, man. Hey, I appreciate you, D, man. You know this I like this conversation, bro.
No doubt, man. I'm gonna crank up a live in a little bit. Y'all can come back and get this cranked again. We're gonna have a regular.
All right, man. Hey, appreciate y'all, man.
All right. Appreciate you, Jay Cooley. Yeah. Charles D, give me some closing thoughts, man. Y'all do. Smoke, you there? Battle rifle. All right, guys. All right, give me some closing thoughts, rifle. I'm getting ready to close it out, dog.
Good talk, man. I like to see these fights and fast as soon as possible, ASAP.
No doubt. Thanks for coming through, Battle Rifle. Thanks for coming through, Charles D. Get this smoke. You there? All right, smoke is out, man. So, hey, guys. Good way to end the show. Good discussion today about Crawford's possible opponents and everything. Everybody have a good day. Look, Nuke is on. IBFP Boxing Nuke is on. So, I'm going to scurry over there. You guys go join that live over there if you like to. Nuke probably. I heard he talk about my guy Fury. Let me see if I can bounce over there, defend Fury a little bit. But y'all know how I always in this thing. For the love of sports, let's talk about it. Peace.